This guy was going to let the squad car off easy, but the cop car looked like it was begging to restart the game. So this guy didn't hold back and floored it, sending him on his way. The officers behind him were so stunned they just froze. Welcome to final freedom. Right now, officers in Georgia are chasing a white pickup truck. The department has already gotten 911 complaint calls from NPCs, so the officers found this guy pretty fast. That would be the man right in front of us, driving a 6-wheel truck like he has zero worries. The officer has now pulled in behind him. But because this guy's truck is such a monster, the officer decides to play it safe for a moment and just watch. At first, this guy doesn't seem to be doing anything too crazy, so the officer gets ready to pull him over and run his ID. Even after 911 complaints, this guy still knows to stop at an intersection. That's basically a 5-star good citizen right there. But once the officer turns on his lights and tells him to pull over, this guy decides to show him what a real 5-star good citizen looks like. This guy completely ignores the officer behind him. But when he sees the road sign at the intersection, he stops again. He is just doing whatever he feels like. Even while running, this guy still makes time to follow traffic rules. Seeing that this guy clearly is not someone to mess with, the officer immediately calls for backup, because something this big definitely needs a teammate to wear it down first. The teammate hears there is free stat padding on the table. He floors it straight to the front of this guy and tries to block him in. This guy sees there is nowhere to go, so he pretends to turn right and baits the officer out of position. Then he quickly swings left and drives away. The officer reacts fast too. He gets in front of this guy again. He knocks the officer's bumper clean off. The officer jumps out and demands $1 million in damages. But this guy says, "You cut me off, so that's on you. I'm in a good mood today, so I won't even make you pay." But the officer refuses to let it go and keeps chasing. The officer catches up again and blocks this guy. Seeing that the officer still has not learned his lesson, this guy decides to spare him and go around on the left against traffic. But he did not expect the officer to keep pressing him. That completely ruined this guy's mood. So he pulled up and showed the officer who the real boss was. This guy is basically saying, "Heaven can make me stop, earth can make me stop, but you, officer, have to get on your knees and beg me to stop." Let's check the stat card. No wonder he is a 6-star boss. He definitely has a temper. This is actually a good opening, but after seeing what happened to his teammate, the officer is still shaken. Meanwhile, the teammate who keeps losing every fight comes charging back again. He sees an opening and goes straight for a pit maneuver, but this guy just squeezes him into the guardrail and totals him for good. The officer only wanted his teammate to slowly wear this guy down. He never expected his teammate to be that reckless and get wiped out instantly. Now the officer has no choice but to bite the bullet and follow this guy himself. But right then, this guy suddenly slams the brakes. Then he changes lanes to the left. He shoves the officer right up onto the median. Nobody expected this guy to be this aggressive. The officer has not even recovered from the scare yet. This guy hits the brakes and stops.